Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video. I know I've been gone from YouTube for like 2 weeks. When I first started YouTube, that was like a lunch break for me. Now, oh my god, it feels like it's been years. But don't worry, I am back. And about the movie review, I will talk about that one a little bit farther towards the end of the video. Now on to the main point of the video. YouTube has just lost its spark. That sweet honeymoon phase between me and YouTube is just gone. And trust me, it's not me, it's you. These past years, YouTube has really fallen in the gutter and to such a horrible extent that it no longer feels like the website it used to be. Ever since the first adpocalypse and all these extra rules that were added into YouTube, nothing has really been the same. And YouTube itself no longer feels like it's dedicated to content creators, and it just feels like it's more centered around making money off of ad revenue. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because of the shit that went down with Quantum TV and the Act Man. Now, most people would have figured that drama would have been over because they just kind of screwed off with that and nothing really else came out from it. The Act Man went back to making great game and movie reviews, and Quantum went back to shoving remote controls up his asshole. Nothing really changed after this whole drama until YouTube decided to reach out back to the Act Man. To summarize the entire email that was sent to the Act Man, it's basically just YouTube telling the Act Man, we don't give a shit, leave us alone. That's literally it. Now, the Act Man put out a bit of a document. I'm only going to read like the bigger parts of it because it's a bit lengthy, but we'll look into that, and then we'll also check out the email that was sent to the Act Man, which has got to be the worst reply I think I've ever seen from YouTube. I can confirm that after conducting what they say was a thorough investigation, YouTube has found Quantum TV 100% innocent of all charges, and they will take no action against him. By making this decision, YouTube is effectively saying that abuse of the copyright ID tool and DMCA takedowns will never be punished, no matter how extensive. YouTube is also taking the stance that there is nothing wrong with doxing other content creators' families, revealing the method by which you dox them and making veiled threats of violence and direct threats of legal action against other YouTubers' families. That type of content is not only perfectly fine, but is also fully monetizable. Quantum TV's videos threatening my mother are still up and fully monetized. YouTube, Quantum TV has objectively violated countless rules, guidelines, TOS, and therefore needs to be removed from the platform permanently. There is no debate, there is only your compliance and inaction. He has harassed other content creators on the platform for the last 4 years. He will continue to do so until you do something about it. And then he labels exactly what Quantum has broken in TOS, which is just a long list. And this isn't some blanket statement either. If you've watched my last 2 videos about Quantum TV and the Act Man, or literally anybody's videos, which has been going on for a long fucking time, years actually, people have made videos on Quantum long before all this drama started. He has done some pretty deplorable shit. People have showed proof of him doing these things, and not to mention, there is literal proof of him breaking YouTube's TOS on his channel, his videos, his fucking videos. I know I sound like a bit of a stickler for the rules right now, but trust me, I do not like anything about YouTube's rules, more in particular the rules after the whole adpocalypse shit. In fact, nobody really seems to like those rules at all, but now it just seems that the most important rules that are incredibly frowned upon for breaking are just being completely ignored, and YouTube could care less, which you'll see in the reply to Actman's email. Hi Actman, I understand the urgency and appreciate your patience while our specialist team conducted a thorough review of the content you shared with us. After thoroughly reviewing the additional YouTube's links sent to us, our specialist team did not find any violations of our community guidelines. Regarding your claims of abusive takedown requests, I can also confirm our copyright team reviewed all of the details you provided and determined that there were no violations. The copyright submissions made by the other creator were valid, and though they may have been rejected, they were considered a fair request for review. In line with our copyright policy, whenever a copyright submission is accepted, we give the affected party a chance to submit a counter notification. I understand if this is not the outcome you're looking for, but I wanted to reiterate that our specialist team investigated the claims you shared and our decision stands. If you would like to schedule a phone call to share additional feedback about your experience on YouTube, please let me know. But note that our phone call discussion will not change your decision as outlined above. Why even mention that you can give a phone call then? That's literally saying you can call us, but we don't give a fuck what you're gonna say. You think a phone call is going to change the Act Man's mind, or anyone's mind for that matter, that you just let Quantum get away with the things he did? Everybody called Quantum out in his bullshit. Everybody knows he broke the rules. Everybody knows that he completely went against TOS, which it's there for a reason. And YouTube decides not to do anything about it and literally excuse it. So whoever wrote this email and this specialist team along with it, you're a bunch of fucking morons. So this email and everything revolving around it is really bad, and the reason being is because it sets a precedent. It's basically just YouTube saying you can break all of these rules and we're not going to do anything about it. And although most people follow these rules, there's still that little bad batch that can cause so much trouble. But if you push Quantum aside, given that he's kind of the main point of this, there's people like Jaden who did this, who got called out for the whole false copyright striking thing, which she did apologize for, which is somewhat respectable. She admitted she was wrong, but still at the end of the day, shouldn't have done that. If you think I'm over-exaggerating, people will take advantage of that. I guarantee it. People have already taken advantage of that, and now that this whole thing has come out, of YouTube basically saying they don't give a shit, just imagine how that's gonna go from there. The way I see it at the moment is that YouTube needs a competitor. When you think of competitor for YouTube, you might be thinking of like TikTok, since YouTube decided to create shorts as a way to, I guess, kind of replicate TikTok for more short form content. But at the moment, there's nothing to replace YouTube itself. At the time, there was this whole like YouTube killer thing called Storyfire that ended up being just absolute garbage. I even tried to make an account on there, and apparently you have to submit an application or a form. I checked a month and a half later, and they didn't even reply to me, so it's just a lost cause. If YouTube had some sort of constant competitor that would actually risk putting YouTube in the ground, then I feel like the people working at YouTube would finally pull their thumbs out of their ass and actually decide to make the platform better. But nobody's willing to do that, so at the moment YouTube is just gonna do fuck all, and they don't care what they do because they're making money regardless. Now, this isn't me saying I hate YouTube, because I really do enjoy it. And the fact that I hit 500 subscribers is really cool. Never thought I would get there before, but you know, I did it anyways, which is amazing. So being able to, you know, make videos on here is great. I love it. But the platform is degrading, and it's not very fun to watch it happen while you're part of it. Anyways, I talked about all that YouTube stuff. Apart from that, I do want to talk about the whole movie review thing. It is going to come out. I'm still making it. It's not canceled. I know I'm taking forever. I know I said I'd have it out like in a week. And I said that like 2.5 weeks ago. I just ran into some trouble, like a few barricades, okay, but I'm gonna make it. I just severely underestimated how long it was going to take, but I promise everyone who's curious, I will have it out. Regardless of that, if you enjoyed, thank you for watching, and come back for the next.